The Galactic Council chamber stretched across 3 kilometers of polished obsidian, its crystalline walls reflecting the light of 1,000 stars. Representatives from 47 species filled the amphitheater, their forms ranging from the gossamer-winged ethereals to the massive rock-skinned titans. At the center of the chamber, one seat remained conspicuously empty. Ambassador Vel of the Centauri Collective leaned toward his aide. "How long has the human seat been vacant now?" 17 standard cycles, sir," the aide whispered back. "They stopped sending representatives after the trade dispute resolution of 2387. Vel nodded, satisfied. The humans had been a minor irritation anyway. Their stubborn insistence on individual rights and their refusal to accept the Council's authority over their frontier worlds. Good riddance. The session proceeded as usual. The Aquatic Federation presented their concerns about mining rights in the Vega system. The Silicon Collective requested expanded territory for their server farms. The Hive Mind sought permission to establish new colonies in the Outer Rim. Everything was orderly. Everything was as it should be. That was before Captain Rex arrived. The human appeared at the chamber's entrance unannounced, his worn military uniform a stark contrast to the ceremonial robes worn by other species. His face bore the weathered lines of someone who had seen combat, and his eyes held a cold determination that made several nearby ambassadors shift uncomfortably. "Captain Rex of the Terran Defense Force," he announced, his voice carrying clearly across the vast chamber. "I come bearing a message from Earth." High Chancellor Trill, the ancient leader of the Council, raised one of her 4 arms. "Human, you have no authority here. Your species forfeited its seat through absence." Rex smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "We didn't forfeit anything. We've been busy." "Busy?" Vel scoffed. "While the civilized galaxy advances through cooperation and trade, humans retreat to their backwater worlds. Your isolation speaks to your irrelevance." "Isolation?" Rex pulled out a datapad and activated it. A holographic display materialized above the chamber, showing a star map of the local galactic arm. "Is that what you call it?" The display zoomed in on human space. What had once been a modest cluster of 12 worlds now showed dozens of star systems, each marked with the blue insignia of the Terran Defense Force. "Impossible," breathed the Titanium Consortium's representative. "Long-range sensors show only empty space in those sectors." "That's because you're not looking hard enough," Rex replied. "We've been expanding, just not in the way you expected. Tell me, honored ambassadors, what do you know about the Void Hunters?" The chamber fell silent. The Void Hunters were a whispered legend. Ancient predators from the dark spaces between galaxies, consumers of entire civilizations. Most species considered them myth. Fairy tales. Vel dismissed. Primitive superstition. Rex's smile widened. 3 months ago, a scout fleet of Void Hunters entered our galaxy through the Kepler Rift. They destroyed the mining station at Proxima 7 as a test of our defenses. 17,000 beings died in 12 seconds. The holographic display shifted, showing the burned remains of the station. The destruction was unlike anything the Council had seen. Not the clean precision of energy weapons or the chaotic devastation of kinetic bombardment, but something that seemed to drain the very essence from matter itself. Where was the Council? Rex continued. Where was the Grand Alliance of Civilized Species? You were here, debating trade routes and territorial disputes while an existential threat entered our galaxy. High Chancellor Trill's voice wavered. If this is true, why didn't you alert us immediately? Because we knew what your response would be, Rex said. Committee formation, subcommittees, debate, discussion, analysis. By the time you reached a consensus, half the galaxy would be dead. So what did you do? The ethereal representative asked, her voice barely audible. Rex gestured to the star map. We fought. Every human world, every colony, every outpost became a fortress. We developed new weapons, new defenses, new tactics. We turned our entire civilization into a war machine. The display showed the true extent of human expansion. Not peaceful colonies, but military installations, shipyards, training facilities, weapons testing grounds. The humans had built the largest military infrastructure the galaxy had ever seen, all hidden in the dark spaces between stars. The Void Hunters sent 3 more fleets. Rex continued, each one larger than the last, each one destroyed by human forces. We've been fighting this war for 3 years while you debated agricultural subsidies. Impossible, Vel protested. Your species lacks the technology, the resources. We lack your bureaucracy, Rex interrupted. When extinction is the alternative, you'd be amazed what humans can accomplish. The chamber erupted in chaos. Representatives demanded proof, explanations, immediate action. But Rex simply stood there, waiting for the noise to die down. The 4th fleet will arrive in 6 days, he said finally. This one will have 1,000 ships. We can stop them, but we need the Council's resources. Not your committees or your debates. Your resources. High Chancellor Trill's voice was barely a whisper. What do you require? Industrial capacity. Raw materials. Every shipyard in the galaxy working at maximum output. And most importantly, we need every species to understand that this isn't a human problem. This is a galaxy problem. The chamber fell silent again. The empty seat at the center of the chamber suddenly seemed less like abandonment and more like sacrifice. The Council will convene an emergency session, Trill announced. All required resources will be allocated immediately. Rex nodded. Good. Because if we fail, there won't be a Council left to blame. As he turned to leave, Vel called out, Captain, why didn't you tell us sooner? Rex paused at the entrance. Because we knew you'd panic, and panicked species make poor allies. The empty seat remained vacant. But for the first time in 17 cycles, no one questioned why.